Hey everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full day of eating. I also do Weight Watchers, so I will make sure that all of my meals have the smart points listed for them as well. If you don't do Weight Watchers, that's not a big deal. There's just some different recipes, some things on here that you might want to try or that you may already like, but without further ado, here we go. Here are all the items that I use to make my morning coffee. So I really love the Dunkin' Donuts French vanilla, but to get the pots, it is very expensive. So I bought this huge bag from Sam's Club, and I have a refillable cartridge, and I use that to brew my coffee. And then I like to do it twice. So I pick the same cup size twice and I brew it twice, and it just really helps me for when I am mixing the protein and the coffee. The next thing that I really like is to use my protein. This is just the Millville protein, which is an Aldi brand. If you don't have Aldi, you might want to check it out. I think it's delicious. It's probably one of the best proteins I've found to mix with coffee. And then I do use my scale to measure this out as opposed to using the scoopers, because it is only 49 grams for one serving, which is also 3 smart points, so I really make sure that I do that correctly. The final thing that I add to my coffee is the creamer. I do really enjoy creamer, so I make sure that I get the Coffee Mate one that is 0 points. All right, today for lunch, I'll be having a copycat KFC bell. I'm just going to use some mashed potatoes from Trader Joe's. I'm going to use some fat-free Kraft cheese for myself, and then I also have the mild shredded for my husband and son. I have some cut up chicken. This weighs out to be 12.6 ounces. I also have a can of corn, and then I have garlic wine seasoning, which is from the Melting Pot. I like to use an olive oil cooking spray that I just get from Sam's Club, which I find to be really good. Once that's ready to go, I will add my seasoning to my chicken. And like I said, my son eats this. He's 2, almost 3, and he'll eat this. My husband eats it, so it's really great. And then I'll get that going because the chicken part cooking takes the longest of everything here. And I will add just a little bit more seasoning because, well, we really, really like it. Once I have that going, I will then go ahead and get the potatoes onto the stove and get those cooking. You can put them in the app and then decide how many like little medallions you want to eat based on that. I'm going to be eating 4 Smart Points worth, so I already know how much that is ahead of time, so I will make sure that that's how many I put in. And then in addition, I'll make sure that there's enough there for my husband and an extra 2 medallions for my son as well. Again, we all eat this, so it's really important that the things that I'm making are things that my whole family can make, not just things that I'm going to eat. Once I have all of that going, I will then go ahead and make sure that I put the corn onto the stove, and then I'll just kind of cook everything up. It takes maybe 5-10-ish minutes in order to get everything done. And then once all of that is completed and all done cooking, I will then be able to kind of mix it all together and get everything going from there. So it just kind of makes it really easy for me. So one thing to kind of note about this bowl is that I do have multiple things in it that are 0 points. The chicken is 0 points, the corn is 0 points, and the amount of cheese I use is 0 points. So one really great thing that I like to do with the cheese is I like to use my food scale in order to weigh it out to make sure that I'm actually really getting 0 points worth and not getting something extra. So that makes it kind of a little bit easier for me. And then what I'll do while all these things are cooking is I will get out any of the bowls that I need. So usually my husband and I eat these in bowls, and my son eats his on a plate. He doesn't like anything touching. Hey, 2-year-old life, if you know, you know. So once I have that all going, I will then get out my bowl, which will be ready to go, and I will add the potatoes onto the bottom first. Again, I know how much I made in the pan, so I know how much I get, and I know how much my husband gets, and I know how much my son gets. I've made it a few times. If you aren't able to cook your whole family's meal at one time yet, that's fine. You can always just separate it. It's totally up to you. Again, that's where my 4 points for this meal are coming from, so I really want to make sure that it is accurate. Once I have put on the potatoes, I will go ahead and put the chicken on top of the potatoes. Again, just putting it in there. I already know how much I'm supposed to have, so I know exactly how much to put in that bowl. And then once I have the chicken done, I will then go ahead and add in the corn. I do get out a measuring cup for this. I don't weigh out the vegetables. I just kind of use a measuring cup. And if you've used a measuring cup and a scale before, then you 100% know that a half a cup and what it measures out to on a scale aren't always the same thing. So that's why I kind of flip-flop back and forth between both, especially if it's something that is a point food. Then I'm really going to make sure that I'm weighing it as opposed to just using the measuring cups, because it does work a lot better. So once I have added the corn, I will then go ahead and put my whole bowl onto the scale, and I will weigh out the cheese and put that on there as well. It's super easy to do. I do not even know like what kind of scale this is. It was just like one that I found at Walmart for like $10, maybe $12, and well, it does the job. So if you want something more fancy, then more power to you, fancy it up. So there you go. That's my lunch. I am actually going to indulge in a few snacks during the day too. I'm going to have some M&Ms. I'm going to share these with my whole family. So because I'm doing that, I'm going to make sure that I weigh them out and make sure that I am getting the correct amount of points. So that was another 4 points. And then another snack I had was some cherries and a clementine, which was a 0 point. The final thing of the day that I'm going to make is 2-ingredient dough with some pizza. I've also made some homemade marinara, which is also 0 points. And once I get the finished product of my pizza with my cheese and everything, it's about 7 points. And then I end the day with a delicious ice cream Ayazo bar. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed this, what I eat in a day. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure that you turn on your notifications so that way you know whenever I post a new video. And as you're going throughout your day today, remember to just be in the moment. Bye.